Have you heard that Burkina Faso has taken control of its gold mines and has started mining its gold? Not only that, but unlike before, when all the raw gold was exported at cheap prices, Burkina Faso has launched a massive plan to purify and process the gold and turn it into hundreds of gold bars every month. This is changing everything for Burkina Faso, making French and other Western corporations deprived of gold. Earlier, the gold was mined on Burkinabe soil, but it was shipped abroad, refined in Western facilities, and sold on international markets. This enriched foreign economies, while Burkina Faso remained trapped in poverty. Now, IBRAHIM Traoré has vowed to change that forever. But how the raw gold and debris is being filtered, purified, and turned into shining gold bars. In this video, let's know about that in detail. Let's get started. For years, Burkina Faso's gold was the foundation of foreign economies, yet the wealth it generated never reached its own people. Western corporations, particularly those from Europe and North America, dominated the country's gold industry, extracting billions of dollars worth of gold each year, while Burkina Faso remained trapped in poverty. The country was one of Africa's top gold producers, yet its role was limited to extraction. The gold left its mines, was shipped abroad, refined in foreign facilities, and then rebranded and sold on global markets as Swiss or Emirati gold. This generated massive profits for foreign investors, while Burkina Faso received almost nothing in return. The numbers reveal the extent of this exploitation. In 2022 alone, Burkina Faso exported $6.74 billion worth of gold, yet the bulk of it, an astonishing $5.93 billion, went straight to Switzerland, which has long acted as a financial hub for African resource wealth. Other buyers included the United Arab Emirates, which imported $534 million. Smaller amounts made their way to India and Rwanda, but regardless of the destination, the pattern remained the same. Burkina Faso was producing gold, but it wasn't keeping the profits. The gold was extracted from Burkinabe soil, but never truly belonged to Burkina Faso. This system was not accidental. It was designed to ensure that wealth remained in foreign hands. Large mining corporations, such as IM Gold, Endeavour Mining, and Nord Gold, secured lucrative contracts that gave them near-total control over Burkina Faso's gold reserves. These companies, mostly French and Canadian, operated under agreements that allowed them to extract gold while paying minimal royalties to the Burkinabe government. They took advantage of tax loopholes and legal schemes that meant Burkina Faso often received as little as 5% of the total revenue generated from its own gold. The raw gold was then swiftly exported to European and Middle Eastern refineries, completely bypassing local processing facilities, ensuring that Burkina Faso never developed the capacity to refine its own gold. Cheap labor fueled this system, with local miners receiving low wages while foreign investors reaped billions in profits. This wasn't just economic exploitation, but a modern version of the colonial-era resource extraction model, where Africa's wealth was systematically drained while its people remained dependent on foreign aid. Beyond this legalized form of exploitation, Burkina Faso also suffered from an enormous underground economy of gold smuggling. Criminal networks, corrupt officials, and insurgent groups operated in the shadows, funneling massive amounts of unregulated gold out of the country. The Sahel region became a hotspot for illicit gold trade, with traffickers moving gold across porous borders into Mali, Niger, and Côte d'Ivoire, where it was rebranded and introduced into the formal global markets. This unregulated trade cost Burkina Faso billions, as nearly half of the gold produced in the country was never officially recorded. Armed groups played a key role in this illegal trade. Extremist organizations took control of artisanal mining sites, using gold profits to finance their operations. Local miners, who formed the backbone of Burkina Faso's gold industry, were often forced to sell their gold at below-market prices to smuggling networks, ensuring that wealth never circulated within the country. Instead, it disappeared into Swiss vaults, Emirati refineries, and global jewelry markets, while Burkina Faso continued to struggle with poor infrastructure, underfunded healthcare, and an economy that remained at the mercy of foreign powers. For years, Burkina Faso's gold was its greatest resource, but only for those who controlled it from a distance. Now, the country is rewriting that story. Under the leadership of IBRAHIM Traoré, Burkina Faso is breaking away from the centuries-old system that allowed foreign powers to exploit its vast gold reserves while its own people remained in poverty. For the first time in its history, the country is not just mining gold, it is refining it, producing gold bars, and storing them within its own national reserves. This marks a monumental shift from an era where Burkinabe gold was extracted by Western corporations, shipped abroad, refined in foreign facilities, and then sold on international markets. The profits went to European banks and multinational companies, while Burkina Faso saw little more than environmental destruction and low-wage labor. That era is over. On Traoré's orders, the government has nationalized key mining operations, ensuring that the majority of profits stay within Burkina Faso rather than disappearing into the bank accounts of foreign investors. The government has taken bold measures, reclaiming control over major mining sites and forcing foreign companies to either renegotiate fairer contracts or leave the country entirely. Investment in state-of-the-art mining technology now allows Burkina Faso's workforce to efficiently extract gold without relying on foreign expertise. Additionally, new monitoring systems have been implemented to track every gram of gold mined, cracking down on underreporting and smuggling, which for years drained billions from the country's economy. Beyond mining, one of the most revolutionary steps Burkina Faso has taken is refining its own gold. In the past, raw gold was shipped abroad, where foreign refineries stamped it with their own labels and sold it at premium prices. Burkina Faso never had the means to process its own gold, forcing it into a system where it provided raw materials but never reaped the full economic benefits. That has now changed. The country has built its own refining facilities, allowing it to process its gold from start to finish, ensuring that Burkina Faso, not Switzerland, not the UAE, controls the entire value chain. The refining process is meticulous, involving crushing and grinding the ore to separate gold from other minerals, followed by chemical purification, smelting at high temperatures to remove impurities, and finally casting the gold into bars of 99.99% purity. Each gold bar now carries Burkina Faso's official seal, a symbol of economic independence and national pride. Secure storage facilities have been built to house the country's gold, ensuring that it remains within Burkina Faso's borders, where it can be used to back the national economy, reduce reliance on the French-controlled CFA franc, and insulate the country from foreign financial pressures. By holding gold reserves domestically, Burkina Faso is taking a critical step toward economic self-sufficiency, reducing the need for foreign loans and ensuring that Western financial institutions like the IMF and World Bank no longer dictate the country's economic policies. Foreign mining companies that once dictated the rules in Burkina Faso are now facing an ultimatum: adapt to the country's new policies or leave. Those companies that refuse to comply with the new rules are losing their mining rights, with their operations handed over to state-owned enterprises or local businesses. Burkina Faso is also shifting its economic partnerships away from Western corporations, instead forging new trade relationships with China, Russia, and Turkey, which offer better terms without the exploitative conditions that have long defined Western involvement in Africa. Before we continue further, tell us, are you enjoying the video? If yes, please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black Africa. Let's continue now. What's more interesting is, Burkina Faso is not just making gold bars from the gold mined from its gold mines. It is also revolutionizing how gold is recovered, ensuring that not a single gram is wasted. While the country has already taken full control of its gold mines, it is now pioneering a groundbreaking initiative to recover gold from mining waste. For decades, gold that was too difficult to extract using conventional methods was discarded and left behind as waste in massive piles of mining debris. But with new technology, innovation, and a firm pledge to economic independence, Burkina Faso is proving that what was once considered worthless can now be transformed into high-purity gold bars fueling the nation's prosperity. In the first operation, 44 gold bars weighing 93 kilograms have been made from waste. But how is that possible? Well, across Africa, mining operations have long produced enormous amounts of waste material, known as tailings, which include rock, sediment, and fine particles left over after the primary extraction process. These remains were seen as useless, dumped near mining sites, abandoned, or worse, allowed to contaminate surrounding land and water sources. For years, no one paid attention to the untapped gold hidden within this so-called waste, and as a result, Burkina Faso lost millions, if not billions, in potential revenue. Now, with a strategic shift in how the country manages its resources, what was once discarded is now being treated as a second source of wealth. However, the process of recovering gold from waste isn't a simple one. It is a sophisticated, multi-stage operation that requires a combination of advanced engineering and chemical processing. It starts at mining sites, where previously discarded material is carefully collected and analyzed to determine its gold content. Not all waste is equal, and through geological assessments, experts identify which tailings contain the highest concentration of recoverable gold. These materials are then transported to Burkina Faso's first-ever mine residue treatment facility, an industrial-scale plant designed specifically to extract gold from mining waste. Once sorted, the waste undergoes a series of precise extraction techniques. First, the tailings are crushed and ground into finer particles, breaking down rock and sediment to expose any gold that remains trapped inside. Next, chemical leaching is used, which is a controlled process where a solution, often cyanide or a safer alternative, is introduced to dissolve the gold from the crushed material. The gold-rich liquid is then filtered, separating the precious metal from other dissolved minerals. Finally, the purified gold is melted at high temperatures, refined to 99.99% purity, and cast into standard gold bars, each one a product of what was once considered mere debris. This revolutionary process ensures that no gold is lost, even particles invisible to the naked eye. It is an example of how modern technology and national determination can turn what was once waste into a valuable asset. Previously, gold companies mined the richest deposits, extracted what was easiest to obtain, and left behind massive amounts of material with untapped gold content. They took the quick profits and moved on, never looking back. But under Burkina Faso's new gold policy, nothing is left behind, and no potential wealth is wasted. Furthermore, to ensure that all available gold is captured, the government is rolling out a network of modern gold treatment centers. These facilities will allow not only large-scale industrial mines, but also small-scale and community miners to bring their leftover materials for processing. This inclusive approach ensures that local miners, who were often excluded from the high-profit refining stage, can now benefit from a system that maximizes the value of every gram of gold they extract. Interestingly, Burkina Faso's gold revolution is not just about one country. It is setting a precedent for the rest of Africa, and the West is scared of that. Other resource-rich African nations are watching closely, and if Burkina Faso succeeds in fully nationalizing its gold industry and maximizing the wealth it generates, it could inspire a wave of similar movements across the continent. This could mark the beginning of a new era in which Africa reclaims control over its own resources, ending the cycle of exploitation that has defined its relationship with the West for centuries. The world is witnessing history unfold as Burkina Faso proves that true economic independence is possible, not through foreign aid, not through Western-backed financial institutions, but through the simple yet radical act of keeping its own wealth. But how does all this change everything for Burkina Faso? Well, this transformation brings tangible economic benefits, the most immediate being financial security. Gold is more than just a mineral. It is a globally recognized reserve asset, a hedge against inflation, and a critical component of a nation's economic stability. By refining and storing its own gold, Burkina Faso is strengthening its national reserves, ensuring that the country has a financial safety net during times of economic uncertainty. Unlike paper money, which fluctuates in value, gold holds its worth over time, making it a powerful tool for economic stability. Nations with strong gold reserves are better protected against inflation, currency depreciation, and global financial instability. Burkina Faso is now positioning itself among those nations, using its natural wealth to build economic strength from within, rather than relying on foreign financial systems that have historically controlled Africa's resources. Beyond financial security, refining gold domestically means that a larger portion of the revenue generated from gold stays in Burkina Faso, rather than disappearing into foreign bank accounts. By producing its own gold bars, the country is eliminating middlemen and ensuring that the full value of its resources benefits its economy. The direct financial impact of this move is profound. Selling fully refined gold bars allows Burkina Faso to earn higher profit margins compared to selling raw, unprocessed gold. Instead of sending its resources abroad for pennies on the dollar, the country can now sell gold at full market value, dramatically increasing government revenue and national wealth. The economic impact of refining gold locally extends far beyond profits and reserves. It is transforming Burkina Faso's industrial landscape by creating jobs and developing a skilled workforce. Previously, gold mining primarily benefited foreign investors, while local employment remained limited to labor-intensive, low-wage mining jobs. Now, with the establishment of refining facilities, thousands of new opportunities have emerged in metallurgy, chemical engineering, logistics, and financial management. This shift is not just about wealth retention, it is about economic diversification. Burkina Faso is now investing in industrial capabilities that will have long-term benefits, ensuring that the expertise and infrastructure needed to refine gold remain within the country for future generations. At the same time, local businesses are seeing the benefits of this transformation. Refining gold domestically stimulates other industries, including jewelry production, gold-backed financial instruments, and investment funds. Entrepreneurs who previously had to rely on imported refined gold now have access to domestically processed materials, creating new opportunities for business growth and economic expansion. This shift also encourages a stronger financial sector, as gold-backed initiatives provide the foundation for new banking and investment systems that are independent of Western financial institutions. Perhaps the most significant aspect of this transformation is the strengthening of Burkina Faso's financial sovereignty. Historically, African nations have been at the mercy of foreign financial institutions that dictate economic policies and control reserves stored in Western banks. Many African nations have experienced situations where their wealth was frozen or manipulated by foreign powers, leaving them vulnerable to economic coercion. By storing its own gold within its borders, Burkina Faso is protecting itself from these external pressures. The country is no longer subject to the financial games of former colonial powers, ensuring that its wealth remains untouched and available for national development. Another major advantage of keeping gold within Burkina Faso is the ability to invest more in national development projects. With higher revenues from gold sales, the government can direct more funds toward public services, including healthcare, education, and infrastructure. With full control over its gold, the government has the financial power to invest in critical sectors that improve the lives of its citizens. What do you think? Will Burkina Faso be able to transfer the benefits of its gold to the citizens? Isn't it true that other African countries can follow Burkina Faso and take control of the natural resources? In the comments section right below, share your thoughts on whether Ibrahim Traoré should be more careful about his security, given that he is depriving Western companies of gold. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We bring videos on Black Africa, its history, rich arts and culture, and things the world should know about. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.